welcome back to my channel. So apparently flirting has rules, but no one sent me the handbook because tell me why. This woman, who's very much taken, keeps giving me these confusing signals. You know, the type one moment she's acting normal, the next, there's this undeniable something in the air. If you've ever caught yourself wondering, wait, is she into me or am I crazy? Stick around because I'm breaking down the 10 signs you need to know by the end of this video. You'll have absolute clarity on whether she secretly wants you. And if you stick around until the end, I've got a bonus sign that's even more revealing than the first 10, so don't miss it. Welcome to Emma, your go-to channel, for real relatable advice on navigating the complexities of love and relationships. Sign number 1, her voice becomes softer around you. A woman's voice can reveal more than her words ever will. That's not just an opinion. It's backed by science studies published in the Journal of Nonverbal Behavior, confirms that women unconsciously change their tone when talking to someone they're attracted to. It's a subtle shift, softer, warmer, maybe even a little breathy. And no, she's not suddenly coming down with a cold. Now, here's what you need to pay attention to. How does she speak to other people? Is her tone firm and neutral? But then, when she talks to you, does it sound different? Almost like she's letting her guard down. That's the tell. Imagine this, you're in a group setting, and she's having a normal conversation with others, clear, direct, maybe even a little sharp. But when she turns to you, her voice lowers just slightly. The edges soften, and there's almost a melodic tone to it. And if she laughs a little more, that's another signal. Research suggests that laughter is a sign of comfort and attraction when she giggles, especially at things that aren't even that funny. It's not about the joke, it's about you. Now, to be fair, some women are naturally soft-spoken, but if her voice shifts noticeably when she's talking to you, that's not random. It's instinct, sign number 2. She makes subtle changes to her appearance. Here's the thing. Women don't dress up for everyone. They dress up for the one who matters. If she suddenly pay a little extra attention to her appearance, whenever you're around, you need to take notice. And no, I'm not talking about an obvious dramatic glow-up overnight. It's the small changes, the one she probably thinks no one will notice. Maybe she used to throw on whatever was comfortable, but now she's adding a little extra effort. Maybe her outfits seem more put together, her makeup is a little more refined, or you catch the faintest hint of perfume when she walks by. It's subtle, but it's intentional. And here's where things get even more interesting. Ever noticed her fixing her hair when she's talking to you, or casually adjusting her clothes? That's a subconscious sign of attraction when a woman likes someone. She naturally wants to look her best in their presence. It's not about vanity, it's about attention. Let's put this into perspective. Say you run into her at work, school, or the gym, places where people typically dress for function rather than style. If she was always casual before, but now she's making small adjustments, maybe a little more effort in her hair, a touch of lip gloss, or even a change in posture. It's a sign she cares about how you perceive her. Now, this isn't about assuming that every woman who looks good around you is secretly into you. But if her appearance shifts specifically when she knows she's going to see you, that's a clue you shouldn't ignore. Let me know if you'd like me to continue with the rest of the script. Sign number 3. She finds ways to be near you. Where attention goes, energy flows if she's always near you. It's not by accident. Attraction isn't just something people feel, it's something they act on. And one of the most telling ways a woman reveals her interest. Proximity if she keeps positioning herself near you. Finding reasons to be in the same space as you, or even coincidentally bumping into you. Trust me, it's intentional. Now think about this. Have you ever noticed how she always seems to be around? Maybe she used to sit on the other side of the room, but now she somehow ends up right next to you. Or you start running into her more often in places she never used to be. Your favourite coffee shop, the gym at your usual time, or even near your desk at work. It's almost like she's just there, This isn't just a casual occurrence when someone is drawn to you, they want to be close to you. And no, I'm not saying she's tracking your every move like an undercover agent, but people gravitate toward those they like, even when they don't consciously realize it. And here's something to really pay attention to. Does she linger, maybe after a conversation? She doesn't immediately leave, or in group settings, she naturally drifts toward your side if you're starting to notice that she's consistent, instantly placing herself in your space, especially when she doesn't have to. That's a signal. Sign of force sub. When it comes to attraction, nothing is truly accidental. A woman who's into you will find small, almost unnoticeable ways to make physical contact. It could be a casual brush against your arm, fixing a piece of lint on your shirt, or even a playful tap. When she's laughing, these tiny touches might seem insignificant on the surface, but they mean a lot more than you think. Here's why the human brain is wired to respond to touch. Especially from someone we're attracted to, research in social psychology shows that physical contact can trigger an emotional and even physiological reaction, releasing oxytocin, the so-called bonding hormone. And trust me, if a woman is making any sort of excuse to touch you, she's creating an unconscious bond. Now let's get real for a second. When someone touches you casually and when it feels different, maybe she lets her hand rest on your arm just a little longer than necessary. Maybe when she passes by, her hand gently brushes your back, or maybe she's playfully nudging you over. Something silly, something she wouldn't do with just anyone. The key here is frequency, a one-time touch, maybe coincidence. But if it keeps happening, especially when it's unnecessary, she's communicating something without saying a word. And here's a little test for you the next time you're around her. See if she reacts when you lightly touch her, maybe on her forearm during a conversation. If she reciprocates in any way, that's a huge green light attraction. Isn't just spoken, it's felt and subtle physical touch. That's one of the strongest signals of all sign number 5. She acts different, lie around you when a woman likes you. She won't always say it, but she'll always show it. People are creatures of habit. We tend to behave consistently around others. But when someone we're attracted to enters the room, that consistency, it shifts. And if a woman starts acting differently when you're around, that's a major tell. Now let's break this down. The change in her behaviour could go in different directions. Some women become nervous, fidgeting with their hands, playing with their hair, or stumbling over their words. Others become more playful, teasing you, cracking jokes, or engaging with you in a way they don't with others. And then there are those who become more engaged at asking deeper questions, giving you their full attention or leaning in when you speak. Here's an easy way to test this watch. How she interacts with everyone else. Is she confident and self-assured with others, but suddenly more reserved around you? Or maybe she's neutral with most people, but with you, she's a little extra, more expressive, more energetic, or just more present. An example, imagine you're in a group setting. She's relaxed, talking casually, but the moment you join the conversation, she either perks up or gets quiet and starts playing with her necklace or touching her lips. That's her subconscious mind reacting to your presence. Attraction disrupts normal behaviour, and when you start noticing these subtle shifts, you'll realise she's revealing way more than she's saying. Sign number 6, her eyes tell the truth. The eyes can lie. But when it comes to attraction, they rarely do. If you want to know how a woman really feels about you, don't listen to her words. Watch her eyes. The eyes are the biggest giveaway of attraction, and science backs this up. Research published in the Journal of Research and Personality found that prolonged eye contact increases feelings of connection and attraction. So, what should you look for? Frequent glances, long eye contact, and dilated pupils. Let's start with the glances. If she keeps looking at you when she thinks you're not paying attention, then quickly looks away when you catch her, that's a dead giveaway. This isn't just a random habit, it's an instinct. We stare at things we're interested in. whether it's a person, a beautiful view, or even our favourite dessert. Then there's eye con. If a woman locks eyes with you for just a second longer than normal, she's giving you access to her emotions. In fact, a study from Psychological Science found that prolonged eye contact can even cause a chemical reaction in the brain, making two people feel more emotionally connected. And finally, pupil dilation. This one's sneaky, but it's scientifically proven when we see something or someone we're attracted to. Our pupils naturally enlarge as our brain signals increase interest. It's an unconscious reaction, and it happens in milliseconds. Here's a quick test. The next time you're talking to her, hold eye contact for just a second longer than usual. If she holds it even for a split second longer than necessary, that's her telling you, without words, exactly how she feels before we proceed. If you find value in this video, please take a moment to like the video and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us grow and makes you an integral part of our journey. And we deeply appreciate your contribution. Now let's return to our discussion, sign number 7. She dives into deep questions. People who don't care about you. Don't ask about the things that matter. A woman who's attracted to you isn't just going to stick to small talk. She's going to dig deeper. Attraction isn't just about physical chemistry. It's about emotional investment. And when a woman is interested, she wants to know the real you. Now think about the conversations you've had with her. Does she ask you generic questions like, how was your weekend? Or does she take it a step further and ask, what's the one thing you do for the rest of your life? If money wasn't an issue, or what's the best decision you've ever made? The difference is subtle, but it's huge. A woman who sees you as just another person in her life won't feel the need to dive into these deeper questions. But when she's genuinely drawn to you, she'll want to explore your thoughts, your goals, your past, who you really are. And here's where it gets interesting. Watch how she reacts to your answers. Does she just nod and move on? Or does she lean in, ask follow-up questions, and seem genuinely invested in what you're saying? This is also where you might notice a little emotional overlap. She might start opening up about her personal life too, sharing details she normally wouldn't. With just anyone, that's not just casual conversation, that's connection. So next time you talk to her, pay attention to the kind of questions she's asking, because if she's going deeper than surface level small talk, she's not just being polite, she's interested. Sign number 8, micro reactions of jealousy. Jealousy reveals emotions that words try to hide even though she's taken. That doesn't mean she's immune to jealousy. If she's into you, even on a subconscious level, you'll see it in the way she reacts when another woman enters the picture. Now, here's the tricky part she's not going to admit. She's jealous. That wouldn't make sense given her situation. Instead, it'll show up in micro reactions, small, fleeting moments that tell you exactly what she's feeling. For example, let's say you casually mention another woman in conversation, maybe a coworker, a friend, or even a date. You went on, pay attention to her response. Does her tone shift slightly? Does she suddenly downplay that other woman? Maybe she says something like, oh, she doesn't seem like your type, or she looks like she's high maintenance. That's not just a comment, that's a reaction. Or maybe she jokes about it, but there's a little edge in her voice, playful teasing, like, wow, she must be special for you to bring her up, is often a subtle way of masking how she really feels. And then there's the silent jealousy. Maybe she suddenly loses interest in the conversation or changes the subject. Or maybe she starts talking about her guy, almost as if she wants to remind you that she's taken to jealousy, is an emotional response that's hard to control. And if she's displaying any of these subtle signs, when you mention another woman, she might not say she's into you, but her reactions tell a different story. Sign number 9, her body language speaks louder than words. Words can lie, but body language never does. A woman may never say outright that she's into you, especially if she's taken, but her body will always tell the truth. Body language is the most honest form of communication because it's often subconscious. When someone is attracted to you, their body naturally leans in, opens up and mirrors your movements. These are instinctive cues that signal interest, whether she realizes it or not. Now let's talk about the signs. Have you ever noticed her tilting her head slightly when listening to you? That's a classic sign of engagement and attraction, or maybe she subtly mirrors your movements. If you cross your arms, she does too if you lean in. So does she mirroring happens when people are connected on a deeper level, and it's one of the most revealing subconscious behaviors. Another huge indicator, the way she positions herself in group settings. If she consistently orients her body towards you, even when she has other people to talk to, that's a clear sign of where her attention truly lies. Pay attention to her feet too. Are they pointed in your direction? That's an unconscious signal of interest. And here's a subtle but powerful one. Exposed, losing her neck and wrists. These areas are naturally vulnerable. And when a woman is attracted to someone, she instinctively reveals them more. It's a subtle way of saying, I feel comfortable and open around you. So while words can be carefully chosen, body language is raw and real. If she's displaying these signals, you're reading something deeper than just casual interest. Sign number 10, she's emotionally invested in you. Emotional investment is the strongest sign of unspoken attraction. Physical attraction is one thing, but when a woman starts showing genuine emotional concern for you, that's when you know you really mean something to her. This goes beyond playful teasing or flirting. This is when she starts caring about your well-being, your thoughts and your feelings. Here's what this looks like in real life. Does she remember the little things about you? Like your favourite coffee order, a big meeting you had at work, or something you mentioned in passing weeks ago? If she does, that's not random. People remember details about those they care about, or maybe she checks in on you if you've had a rough day. She asks how you're doing if she hears about something exciting happening in your life. She follows up. She doesn't have to do these things, but she wants to. That's emotional investment. And then there's vulnerability if she starts sharing personal things with you. Her fears, her dreams, things she doesn't openly tell others. That's another sign. She sees you as more than just another guy in her life. When a woman lets you into her emotional world, it's because she wants you there. Now ask yourself this, does she treat you like just another person, or does she care about your opinions, feelings, and well-being? If it's the latter, she's more emotionally connected to you than she's letting on. If you've made it this far, type, I see the signs in the comments. Let's see how many of you are paying attention. Bonus sign, she finds excuses to text or call. You people don't just randomly think of you, they think of you because they care. Here's the thing, if a woman is genuinely drawn to you, she'll create reasons to stay in contact, even if she's in a relationship, even if she knows she shouldn't. If there's an attraction, it will slip through in the way she communicates with you. Now, I'm not talking about the basic surface level interactions. I'm talking about those seemingly random texts, the little check-ins, the playful messages that come out of nowhere. For example, maybe she sends you a meme or an inside joke you once shared on the surface. It seems casual, just a friendly message, but what she's really doing is keeping the connection alive. She wants to stay in your orbit, even when there's no real reason to reach out. Or maybe she texts you with something vague, like, I just saw something that reminded me of. You think about that. If she's in a relationship, why would something in her day make her think of you so much that she felt the need to tell you? That's not just a coincidence, that's a sign. Then there's the classic checking in text. Maybe you mentioned a work project or an event coming up, and she follows up with, hey, how did that go? It seems innocent, but here's the reality. People only check in on the things and the people they genuinely care about. And let's not forget the missed call. Excuse, maybe she claims she accidentally called you, or pretends she needed your opinion on something random. But the real reason, she just wanted to hear your voice. The bottom line, a woman who doesn't feel anything for you won't go out of her way to message you, especially when she's in a relationship, if she keeps finding reasons to reach out even subtly, it's because she wants to keep you close now. You know, the 10 forbidden signs that a woman is into you, even though she's taken. But here's the most important thing. Recognizing these signs is one thing, but acting on them as another attraction is complicated, and just because the signals are there doesn't always mean you should act on them. Be respectful, be wise, and above all, understand the deeper meaning behind human attraction. If you got value from this video, hit the like button. It really helps us grow and reach more people. Like you, subscribe for more high-value content like this, and turn on notifications so you never miss a video, and share this with a friend who might need to hear it. We've got another amazing video recommended for you. Right here. Watch it now, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.